Picture this: pink skies, orange sunset, vast desert, and massive canyons. You can see these sights and more on Mars. This planet is one of Earth's nearest neighbors in our solar system. But even though it's closer than other planets, Mars is still far away. It takes 9 months to travel there in a spacecraft. How do you get a Martian baby to sleep? You rock it. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. It's about half the size of Earth. Only the planet Mercury is smaller than Mars. In some way, Mars is very similar to our planet, like Earth. Mars is a rocky planet. It has valleys and volcanoes just like Earth does. But there are also a lot of differences. For example, Mars spins more slowly on its axis than Earth does. As a result, a Mars day lasts 37 minutes longer than an Earth day. These differences are part of what makes Mars so interesting. Mars has fantastic sky watches for thousands of years. Length of day, 24 hours. 24 hours and 37 minutes. Length of year, 365 Earth days, 687 Earth days.
100.
Moons, 1. Mars, 2. Average temperature, 59 Fahrenheit, 81 Fahrenheit. Diameter, 7,926 miles, 4,222 miles. More than 2,000 years ago, ancient Romans noticed a red glowing object when they gazed at the night sky. The planet's color reminded them of blood, so they named the planet Mars after the god of war. The name stuck. Today, the nickname for Mars is the Red Planet. Why couldn't the astronaut book a room on the moon? Because it was full. The red planet rosy color looks like rust. In a way, it is the dusty soil on Mars contains iron. Iron is a metal and the main ingredient in rust. This makes Mars look like a ball of metal left out in the rain. Red color Mars looks blazing hot, but it's actually freezing cold. It's farther from the warming sun than Earth is. Plus, its thin atmosphere isn't good at holding in heat. Earth's thick atmosphere holds the sun's heat like a blanket, but on Mars, most of the sun's heat bounces back into space. A deadly breath. Did you know that breathing the air on Mars would kill us? The atmosphere is made of mostly carbon dioxide. That's the gas we breathe out. Earth's atmosphere is mostly of nitrogen and oxygen, the gas we need to breathe. Since there's no oxygen on Mars, visitors there would have to wear a spacesuit that supplies oxygen. The outfit you pack for Mars will literally mean life or death. If that doesn't make you want to pass on a ticket to Mars, consider this. Planet-wide dust storms sometimes blanket Mars for months. In addition, tornadoes of dust, called most dust devils, often swirl over the surface. They can reach heights of 3,000 feet. Dust devils form all the time. Where did the cow astronaut land? On the moon. 5 cool things about Mars. Mars is home to the tallest volcano in the solar system. This volcano, called Olympus Mons, is 3 times as high as Mount Everest. This illustration shows how water can have flooded Mars. Some scientists think that 3.5 billion years ago, floods on Mars made huge river channels. The channels are visible from space today. Mars has a canyon that's over 4 times as deep as the Grand Canyon. It would stretch from New York to San Francisco. Mars has 4 seasons. They're much longer than the seasons on Earth. Earth's summer is 94 days. Summer on Mars is 199. Mars, along with Mercury, has the lowest surface gravity in the solar system. If you weigh 100 pounds on Earth, you only weigh 38 pounds on Mars. Today, liquid water, probably can't exist on the surface of Mars. The atmosphere is too thin. The temperature is too cold. All the water on Mars is frozen solid in the North and South poles or under the ground. But this wasn't always the case. Scientists think water flowed on Mars after the planet formed. There might even have been large oceans and rivers. Why does this matter? Water is necessary for life to exist. If it flowed on Mars, maybe life exists there too. But how can we find out? The best way to find out if liquid water or life was ever on Mars is to pay the planet a visit. For the past 50 years, scientists have been doing just that, except that spacecraft, not humans, have been making a trip, check out some major milestones in Mars exploration. Early spacecraft were made of the best technology available at the time. Still, they were simple compared to what we send to Mars today. Mariner 4 returned only 22 photographs of the surface on Mars. Later spacecraft were able to send thousands of photographs. These more advanced spacecraft were like 2 vehicles in one. Viking had 2 parts, an orbiter and a lander. The lander touched down on Mars. The orbiter stayed in orbit around the planet. Rovers are the most complex Mars explorers yet. They roll over the surface, taking pictures, soil samples, and measurements. Curiosity is the largest and most advanced rover sent to Mars. It landed there in August 2012. The car-sized rover is helping scientists study the red planet in more detail than ever before. Its mission was scheduled to last 23 months, but it will likely likely be extended. Curiosity jobs is to look for water or evidence that water used to be there. In the rocks and soil on Mars, it's also looking for habitat where living things could have lived. To do this, Curiosity used 17 high-tech cameras, a rock-tape laser, and a nuclear power laboratory. When do astronauts eat their lunch? At lunchtime. Engineers on Earth control Curiosity's movement. After Curiosity landed on Mars, members of the control team switched to Martian time for 3 months. This helped them monitor the mission more easily. The family of one flight director, David O, spent an entire summer on Mars time too. After 3 weeks, their schedule was turned completely upside down. They sometimes went to bed at noon and went biking riding at 3 a.m. So far, scientists have only sent robots to Mars, but one day they want to send people. Experts have different ideas on the best way to travel to Mars. But one thing is for sure, these types of mission to Mars will likely take years to complete. The journey itself would take about 9 months. Once their astronauts will likely have to set out areas to work, live, and grow their own food. To go outside, they will have to put on spacesuits. Talking to people at home would be difficult. Communication signal would take up to 20 minutes to reach Earth. To meet the challenges, group of scientists have created Mars mission training grounds. They set up fake space stations so crew can practice surviving on the red planet. Bases are often located in dry, empty areas that look like Mars, like the top of a Hawaii volcano or a field in the Canada Arctic. Scientists hope to learn how to make a real-life Mars mission successful. How do you organize a space party? You plan it. Since Mars doesn't have supermarket, astronauts will have to prepare and grow their own food. Scientists are studying what astronauts will eat when they're 150 million miles from Earth. Food bought from Earth will require at least 3 years shelf life, but the food will also need to be nutritious so Mars travelers don't get sick, and a variety of food will help them keep from getting bored. Astronauts might be able to grow plants like strawberries and tomatoes in a greenhouse. Fresh fruit and vegetables will be a welcome treat. Before you pack your bags for Mars, you should know that living in space can have some effects on the human body. Why? Our bodies are suited for life on Earth. We're used to having the force of gravity constantly tugging on our bones and muscles. During space travel, the pulls of Earth's gravity gets weaker. The farther you get from the planet until a spacecraft reaches Mars and is under the pull of that planet's gravity, objects float in a state of weightlessness, Unfortunately, exercise and a special diet can control some of these effects. One day humans might be able to live on Mars, but it would take a lot of time and effort to make the red planet into a place people could live. The process of Earth making a place more Earth-like is called terraforming. Here's how humans imagine we might someday be able to turn Mars into a new Earth in 1,000 years with future technology. Year 0. The project might begin with a series of missions to set up living quarters. Year 100. Human-built factories could spew powerful greenhouse gas to boost Mars' atmosphere. The greenhouse gas build-up would begin to warm the freezing planet. Over time, Mars could look more like Earth. Year 200. Rain will fall and river would flow once enough greenhouse gases had been released. Simple microbes and plant life could start growing on rocks. Year 600. Microbes would create organic soil and add oxygen to the atmosphere. Humans could introduce flowering plants and green evergreen forests to see if they would grow. Year 1000, since oxygen level would remain low, humans on Mars will require oxygen tanks to breathe outside. Energy for city might come from nuclear power and wind turbines. What kind of plates do they use in space? Flying saucers. Mars has long held a special place in people's imagination in books, television, and movies. Martians are often shown as little green men. The idea that aliens live on Mars began more than 100 years ago. In the late 18th, some astronomers claimed to see channels on the surface of Mars through their telescope. They believed that the channels were canyons. They thought that Martians melted canyons to transport water to cities. The canyons, it turned out, don't exist, but the idea that Mars might have advanced life forms remain. Today we know that's not the case. It's fun to think about what an imaginary Martian look like, and it's neat to dream about living on a green terraformed Mars in the future, but scientists are most interested in knowing if life ever existed on Mars in the past. Many believe there is a strong chance it did. What would this life have looked like? It probably would look like the microbe in this photo below, which is too small to be seen without a microscope. If that's true, then real Martians are just like creatures that are all around us here on Earth. And that's the end of Mars, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye!